let me present myself. I'm Xavier Ruiz. I'm the CEO and founder of SmartMonkey, and I will talk about time and what and how much is important in the last mile logistics. So, come on, doesn't work. Yeah, now. So, spoiler. What do you see in this picture? And if you want to type something quick that you could see in this image, and I'll have the chat open, so I'll wait you a few seconds. If not, time. Okay, thanks, Dan. London at night. Clocks. Yeah, well, clocks. But I see a small van at the end of the road, and that's the thing. The van and the time. So what I want to do today is to at least show you how hard is the job of these delivery men and how important time is for them. And in order to do that, let's do some math. I assume that there's a lot of technical people in this meetup, so this will be very easy. I know it's a little bit late for some of us, and for others are very in the morning. So a normal delivery man in any kind of the cities that we live, it's performing around 120 deliveries on average in a normal day, which these deliveries take roughly around 3 minutes to make this delivery. This means once they stop looking into the van, taking the order or a couple of orders, then moving into the house, ringing the bell, going inside, hey, here's your orders, thank you, see you, have a good day, and returning back. Which at the end, it ends up in roughly around 6 hours to perform all these tasks. You say, okay, perfectly, no problem. And then you realize that, hey, there's just left 2 hours to go to around 80 places, considering that 1/4, you make more than one delivery in each of the places. So you have to go to 80 places. My daughter doesn't know how to count up to 80. So there's a lot of places that they have to go, and you have two choices. The first choice, obviously, is okay. Normal people work 8 hours a day. You have to go to 80 places in 2 hours, so it's 1.5 minutes to go from one place to another and park. What do you think? Let me go to the chat to see what people are thinking about that. No way. Thanks, Alex. No way. There is impossible, or we would say on average, it's impossible you to take 1.5 minutes, which is just 90 seconds, which is nothing in any kind of city. Just stopping in a semaphore, you are in a traffic light, you are losing a minute. So you just left 30 seconds. There is no way. So what is really happening? Traffic delivery men take roughly between 10 to 12 hours every day on a shift to make these 120 deliveries, which is, at the end, it's not fair for them. And most of the cases, if they don't deliver it, they don't earn money. So with this sector, it's really, really, really tough. So we have a problem, and time for these people is extremely important. So yeah, that's the solution, but it shouldn't be the solution. So what's the real problem here? We have to visit these 80 points, which is there are a lot, but these points are not, as I showed, in line. They are spread in the cities. You are Geoawesomeness people, so you know perfectly these places are spread around the city, and you have to visit them. And as perfectly explained the previous presenter, we have to go to these places and we have to decide which is the best route in order to find the best route. So the route that minimizes the time between the distances between each of these points. So it's like doing multiple jigsaws, and at the end you have to decide which is the sum or minimizing the time in order to visit all of them. The problem is that if you do this manually, you can take a lot of time because there are so many possibilities. How many? In a regular in a regular problem, which is called, that I'm sure most of you know, the traveling salesman problem. The complexity is factorial of the number of points. And the biggest problem is that humans can just handle 7 plus minus 2 options in order to make any kind of decisions. And n factorial into 9 possible options, there's very, very few options there. And just as an example, a regular day in an average delivery man, which is 80 deliveries, the result is that 7.10 by 180. So it's, I don't even know how to say it in English, sorry. But it's really, really huge numbers. I'm sure it's more than the number of atoms in the entire galaxy or the world. So this is really, really, really a huge, huge, huge problem. And the problem is that they don't have time. So we have to offer them some kind of solution. So that's exactly what we do at SmartMonkey. We transform the field experience of these people into field asset. So something that can make them better in their life. And how we do it? By building digitalized process that delivers these 6 specific things. The first is, as we are able to optimize and increase the efficiency, these companies are able to make their margins wider. They're being able to standardize the process, and this is a huge problem because as the delivery, they take their decisions. Most of the time, they take decisions that not always are rational. Maybe they love to eat lunch in a specific place, so they make the route in order to at 11 or 10 or 11, they can eat breakfast in the place they love. This is not standard, of course. And of course, the problem is when your company grows, scale, these operations are really, really, really complex. We can see these days on the Black Friday, the delivery companies hiring like crazy. And these people who doesn't know anything about delivering, they have huge problems there. And of course, you have problems of controlling. You need to control what's really happening on my operations, because at the end, the service is key for your company. It's the service you are selling. And of course, you need to make predictable results. So no matter who's in charge, no matter who's operating, who's doing the job, you need to make sure that the job will be done, and will be done in the same level of performance. So all these things, it's what the technology that we do affects to our customers, and I will explain a little bit later about a few examples. So at the end, we will transform our miners, that in the sense of these delivery men who are basically doing the hard work on the mines, and to transform them into gem polishers. So they have to perform extremely, extremely well, and they need tools. This is what they don't have right now. So let's stop talking about what we do, and let's talk about real examples. So we've done a project for Cruzcampo, which is a Heineken company in the south of Spain, where we were able to learn how their customers behave and optimize these routes. So you have to imagine that this delivery man, which is moving beer barrels that are weighted, if I'm not wrong, 40 kilos, and I saw them, and I promise I wouldn't do that. It was a really, really, really tough work, and we were able to optimize the routes considering even their normal behaviors of the customers, even their breakfast, and even considering that behaviors, we were able to save more than 30% kilometers traveled on a daily average, which is incredible. And the most important is 1 hour more. 1 hour more means that they could do between 4 to 5 more deliveries, and they were earning money for each of the deliveries. So they earn so much money because of that. And this is just a small example, how even considering the behaviors of the customers, which is what they make indispensable for the companies, how we can able to learn that and to optimize the routes. Another great example is with Volkswagen, with the spare part distribution company in Spain, which is called ProService. And basically for them, they got the same problem. So they have to go every day to several car workshops. And the problem on the car workshops industry is that they have very limited space in their car workshops, and having a car stop waiting for this spare part, it's the car workshop is losing money. It's not making money, because in big cities, they usually doesn't have so much space. So they have to move around and to make this process as quickly as possible. So just as an example, between the moment that the spare parts arrive to the warehouse, we got less than a minute to give them the planning of these routes, and they got like three waves during the day. But once we have less than a minute to organize everything. We usually done it in less than a second, so for them was more than happy. And one of the things they realized they got real problems with their service was the risk of one of their experienced delivery men or managers leave the company or even take vacations, which is or get sick unexpectedly. The quality of the service decreases so much. So this is why they need a tool that helps them to maintain and to sustain and to have like a predictable service. Customers get really happy because they know that they received on the time that was planned for them. And the last example is Akbar, the water utility company in Barcelona, which is part of the Suez company that probably you'll know, the biggest utility in the world. They got like, which will be even more complicated. They got integrated all the technology into their work field application, and they are not something that they have planned in the early morning. They have like a planning for the day, for the maintenance, for the recurrent maintenance. But in the middle of the day, they could appear unexpected events. So basically, a pipe get broken in the middle of the street, they have to run. But there are some other breaks that maybe they have to go during the day, but they don't have to run so much. So they have been integrated our solution in order to plan and replan in real time in order to get the solution as efficient as possible, even if the planification changes because new things appear. What we've demonstrated to them is to the increase of productivity. So more repairs done per day for each of these people of more than 21%, which is really, really great. They have just in Barcelona more than 70 or 80 people moving around the city and every day. Just in Barcelona, I think there were more than 500,000 homes. So there's a lot of places that could break suddenly, you know. So that's the thing, you know, that everything can change, but the technology can still give them answers. And today we're going to be Canasta Rosa, which is one of our customers, explaining their experience using all this technology, and I'm sure he'll be like the details of their business in much more detail. So just as a recap, basically technology at the end, our customers doesn't care. The thing is that what they are asking is, okay, what I am looking for into that I want to improve my business. No, I want more wider margins. I want to standardize these processes, which the logistics are always crazy. And when you get into the last mile, it's even crazier because you don't know what's going to happen in the next street. Maybe they're closed. Maybe I got in a traffic jam. Maybe I got something unexpected that happens. And I need the way to perform systematically. You know? This allows me to scale. And of course, incrementing efficiency is good for everyone, not just for the companies, but at the same time for the customers, no? Who could receive a better service. And of course, I need to have vision of what's really happening. And at the end, I think the most important part is to get these predictable results, so that no matter what's happening, no matter who's in charge, no matter who's doing the job, I got always the same level of performance. And I hope, and we work to get the best ones. So thanks a lot for listening to me. This was like a presentation, like in more broadly, and showing real examples of why time is important for logistics. And as you saw, time, every second counts. So during these days that I'm sure you're going to receive a lot of the delivery men make their life easier. So try to get the phone fast, and because this minute that you'll save, maybe they will arrive at home earlier, and I'm sure they'll be really happy. And if you want to ask any questions, feel free to call me, to send me an email, and I'll be happy to answer now. Thank you.